Hi, in today's tutorial we'll be looking at Microsoft Excel's VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, which stands for vertical lookup, is a very popular search function in Microsoft Excel. How does VLOOKUP work? It works by searching the leftmost column of a table and return data from a selected column in the same table. I will be looking at the formula and explaining each component in the formula in a simplified way, so that by the end of this video, viewers will have a better understanding of each component in the formula and how to use the VLOOKUP function. In this video, we will also be looking at how to prepare a table for our VLOOKUP function, naming data range, creating drop-down menu if it is required, and extracting data from separate spreadsheets to create reports using VLOOKUP. I am Jafari. Welcome. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. In this video, we'll be using two spreadsheets. One spreadsheet containing employee data for our imaginary company, JP Trading. And our next spreadsheet is a simpler one that we'll use for startup. Here on this spreadsheet, we have products sold by our imaginary company, JP Trading. But before we start using this formula, I would like to go through the various components which make up the formula to provide clearer understanding to our viewers. I will now explain in a simplified way the various components of our VLOOKUP formula. You may have heard the various components being referred to as arguments. Please do not feel intimidated by terminology, as argument simply means required information. And to keep the language simple, I will continue to describe these as components. As is the case with all formulas in Microsoft Excel, we start with our equal sign, followed by the name of the formula, in this case VLOOKUP. While the name of the formula is not case sensitive, it is important to note there should not be any space in the name of the formula. Next, we open our bracket. Next step is to enter our lookup value. This can be done by selecting the group of cells or cell that will contain the information to be used in our search. The information to be used in our search may be contained in a group of cells as shown here, or may be contained in a single cell as shown here. Using one or more cells for our lookup value depends on what we're doing, and hopefully this will become clearer as we go through our examples. Next, we insert our comma followed by our table array. Our table array is where we expect to find our results, and it's highlighted here. In our examples, I will show you how to create a table and also how to create a data range. This will help to minimize problems that may be associated with table or cell referencing. Our next step is to insert comma followed by our column index number. This is telling Excel which column in your table you expect your results to be returned from. In this case, we would like our result to be returned from our unit price column, which is column number 2 in our table. Very important to note, this should be column number in your table and not column number in your entire spreadsheet. This is a common mistake. Next, we insert our comma, and the last component in the formulation is what is referred to as range lookup. This is entering 0 or 1. This tells Microsoft Excel whether to look for an approximate match for your data or an exact match for your data. 1 for approximate, 0 for exact match. In our example, we'll be using exact match, hence we'll be selecting 0. Next, close our bracket and press enter. Now that we have looked at the different components of our VLOOKUP function, let us look at 2 examples using the VLOOKUP function. This is the price list for our imaginary company, JP Trading. In today's first example, we are going to look at how it's possible to extract information from this spreadsheet into another spreadsheet using VLOOKUP. The information that we'll be extracting is unit price for the different items. So we will use VLOOKUP to search for the items in our leftmost column of our table, and once found, VLOOKUP will return the prices for the respective items. It is also a good practice when working with VLOOKUP to create data range. Data range reduces the chance of error due to incorrect cells being selected. Data range also minimizes the number of movements between spreadsheets, therefore reducing time and also reduces chance of error. So, how do we create a data range? A data range is created by first highlighting the desired cells. In this instance, our desired cells are the table of cells we'll be using in our VLOOKUP function. Next step is to go to the name box at the left of our window. Here we will give our data range a name of our choice. I will call this data range Table 3. Then press enter. With this named data range, you select your table from our name box here, or select table name in our VLOOKUP function, which you will see shortly. Here, on a separate spreadsheet, I have a table which I have named Item Price Retriever. This table will be used to extract information from our JP Trading price list using VLOOKUP. Let's do that. Let's enter our VLOOKUP formula. We start with our equal VLOOKUP, open bracket, lookup value. In this case, this is the items cell right here, comma. Next, our table array, and as you have just seen, this is named Table 3. So we select Table 3 from our VLOOKUP option. This highlights the importance of creating data ranges, as we did not have to go back to our spreadsheet to select the cells. Next, comma, then column index number, and as we have seen, our unit price is in column 2 of our table. Next, comma, followed by 0 for exact match. False could also work, but to simplify this process, 0 works well also. Close bracket, then press enter. Now, if we type the name of the item, VLOOKUP retrieves the information from our JP Trading price list and display the result here. Now, let's retrieve the prices for some other items. Let us retrieve the price of the desk. And there we have it. Let's retrieve price for radio. And there we have it. Let's retrieve price for stove. And there we have it. If we will be retrieving the same data very frequently, it may be a good idea to create a drop-down menu. I will show you how to create a drop-down menu. Let's do it. To create a drop-down menu, first select the cell in which you would like to create our drop-down menu. In this case, under Items. Next, go to our Data tab, and under Data tab, go to Data Validation. Select Data Validation. Under Settings, select List. Next, we select our data source. And our data source in this case is right here. JP Trading Price List. Next, select the list of items that will be in our drop-down menu. In this case, all the items here: chair, computer, desk, radio, and stove. Now press enter, then OK. Here we have our drop-down list. Now we are able to select items from our drop-down list. Now let's go to our next example. In this example, we'll be looking at employee data for our imaginary company, JP Trading. In this example, we'll be extracting information from this spreadsheet to create a report in another spreadsheet using VlookUp. The information from our previous spreadsheet will be pulled into this spreadsheet using VlookUp to create a report called Employee Vacation Management. Before we create our report, let me reiterate the importance of having the correct table layout for VLOOKUP. As I have mentioned before, it's important to ensure the information being searched for is located in the leftmost column of our table. In this example, we'll be searching for employee ID, which is the leftmost column. It's also important to have our information in a table format. This reduces chance of error due to 1. Incorrect cells being selected, 2. New data being inserted in our table, 3. Deletion of data from our table, and 4. Editing of data in our table. So guys, it's important we keep our information in a tabular format. Here, our table, we have named our table Table 2. So this information is already tabulated. Here's our table name in our name box at the left of our window. And the name of our table is Table 2. Now let's extract information from this table to create our Employee Vacation Management report. For this report, VLOOKUP will be searching based on employee ID and will return data on employee name and vacation days for our Employee Vacation Management report. So looking at this table, we will see that employee name is in column 2 of our table, and vacation days is in column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our table. Vacation days is in column 7 of our table, and employee name is in column 2 of our table. Let's create our employee management report. Here we will create our employee vacation management report. Let's enter our VLOOKUP formula. Equal VLOOKUP. open bracket. Now for our lookup value, and we'll be searching based on employee ID, so our lookup value is 1001. Next comma, followed by our table array, and as we have seen, we named this table table 2, and here it is in VLOOKUP. Next comma, followed by our column index number, and from our count in our table, our employee name is located in column 2 of our table, hence we enter 2. Next comma, next we would like an exact match, hence we select 0, which means false. Then close bracket, then press enter. And there you have it. All our employee name being extracted from another spreadsheet to create a report called Employee Vacation Management. Now let's extract vacation days for these ID numbers. Now let's enter our VLOOKUP formula. Equal VLOOKUP, open bracket. Again, we'll be searching based on employee ID, so our lookup value will be employee ID here. Next comma, followed by our table array, and as you have seen, this table was named table 2. Here it is in VLOOKUP. Let's select it. This is followed by a comma, followed by our column index number, and from our count in our employee information table, we saw that vacation days is in column 7 of that table, hence we enter 7 followed by a comma. We would like an exact match, hence we enter 0, which means false. Close bracket and press enter. And there you have it. Our employee vacation days data that was retrieved by searching for employee ID number using VLOOKUP. And that's it for our video on how to use VLOOKUP. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Bye.